Last class we have seen parallel cursors. So this is your parallel cursors. So the point to be remembered in parallel cursors is first one. Both the tables should be sorted. With the field with which we are comparing. Both the table fields should be sorted with the field with which we are comparing. If you forget to sort, it will create a problem. What problem it will create? So let's take this case example. So now I have VBAK sales table, VBAK table, or take KNA1 table, customer table, followed by VBAK table. Now KNA1 table, customer master table, KUNNR, name 1, ORT01, etc. So I have customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, customer 4. Name, some names. Some cities. Say first 2 customers are from Hyderabad, second 2 customers are from Bangalore. So this is my customer table. So in real time, always the data will be very huge. And moreover, sales tables, delivery tables will be very huge. So now, sales table, sale ID, sale date, sales org, customer number. So VBELN, AUDAT, VKORG, KUNNR, so on. So one more sales table. Sale ID 1, sale ID 2, sale ID 3, sale ID 4, sale ID 5, sale ID 6. Say on some date. So I am taking randomly some date. So on 1st August, from sales organization, say 1000. So from sales organization, 1000. Now this is done by customer K1. This is done by customer K2. This is done by customer K3. Again, this is done by customer K1. This is done by customer K2. This is done by customer K1. Randomly, I choose some customers. So now I can use loop and read concepts, or I can use parallel cursor concepts. So let's assume I want to apply parallel cursors to this. So now how we are applying parallel cursor to this? So here I'll write the code. So loop at T underscore KNA1 into work area KNA1, followed by loop at T underscore VBAK into work area VBAK from V underscore index. So whenever you declare an internal table, there will be one field called as site abex in the internal table. Site abex. So site abex is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here the site abex is 1, 2, 3, 4. When you declare an internal table, the row count will be automatically coming, which is the site table index. So when I declare a variable V underscore index, type site abex, it will have 0 in it. When you don't have any default values, the default value of site abex is 0. So that means my pointer is pointing out to the starting. So whenever you loop at the record, it will always start from the starting by default. Suppose in index, there is record number 3. Then it will start from record number 3rd position. But as of now, when I declare a variable, it will have nothing to it. So it will have 0 in it. So ultimately the count will always start from the first record. So the count is starting from the first record. So for the first time, I am getting the first record into the KNA1. So this record came into the work area. This record came into this work area. Now here, start from record number 1. When I say record number 1, the first record will come into the work area. Now here we are comparing if work area VBAK hyphen tuner equal to work area KNA1 hyphen tuner. If both are not equal, what to do? V underscore index is equal to site abix and come out of it. And if this condition is satisfied, it will come out. If the condition is not satisfied, it will go and use the right statements. KNA1 work area VBAK. Write all the fields. And loop. So this is how we handled in the last class. So now for the first record, both the customers are same. Work area KNA1 customer, this customer is also same. This customer, both are same. So it won't go here. It will come to the right statement and it will write the output. So you'll get the output like this. First record you get in the output. So first record is coming in the output. Now the inner loop will run for the second time. Second time, this record will come into the work area. Both are mismatching. This customer number is mismatching with this customer number. So what the index will do, it will mark it. So V underscore index now will be V underscore IND. Now it will be having record number 2 because it is coming out at the second record. So when it comes out, SAP will pick the second record, customer 2 record into the work area. So now for customer 2, we have to see the sales. So you are telling the system, don't search from the starting, search from the second record because V underscore index will have 2 in it. So it is searching from the second record. Second record, both are matching. So it will write the output for the second record. But if you observe here, there are some more customer K1 records. It is not writing those in the output. So indirectly this becomes like a loop and read concept. So this table should be sorted. This table also should be sorted with the fields with which we are using. Until we sort the table with the fields, all the K1s won't come together. All the K2s won't come together. So if you apply parallel cursors without sort statement, it's of no use. Don't assume the tables will be in a sorted order. Never assume the tables will be in a sorted order. The tables can be in random order. So make sure both the tables should be sorted. So we are sorting both the tables. Next, always the first loop should be master table. Now, if you take a transaction table, one customer, one record in the sale will always have one customer in it. One customer will have only one record in master table. So indirectly, if you are looping at this table, we can read this table because there will be only one record. You can't see multiple K1s here. So if you don't know which is the header, which is the item, you cannot understand parallel cursor. Always the master table should be the header table. So once it is done, we are declaring one variable index to track the inner record position. We are tracking the inner record position, followed by loop at t underscore table 1, say example Mara into work area Mara. Example only we are taking. Then loop at t underscore Marcy into work area Marcy. from v underscore index, from v underscore index, and loop, and loop, and loop. Now, here we are saying if psi sub RC, not sorry, if work area Mara Matner not equal to work area Marcy Matner, come out of it. Before coming out, track the index. Site average. Exit. So whenever you are coming out, mark it. Come out. If this condition is not satisfied, or you can put else part also, it's your wish, if else condition. If it is not equal, exit. Else, write it. Else, write it. Write the records. Work area Mara records, work area Marthi records. So now I have explained this parallel cursor like this. So one of your seniors after the next class, sir, the parallel cursors you have told is wrong. Why it is wrong? Okay, who told it is wrong? My friend told it is wrong. My roommate told it is wrong. So is your roommate working somewhere? He said, no, sir, he is not working. He is learning the course in some other institute. His faculty told in a separate way. So this code is wrong. How much experience his faculty is having? 6 years of experience his faculty is having. Now, that guy is believing his faculty, a 6 years guy faculty, that his faculty is correct. But your faculty is having 14 years of experience and you are believing that he is wrong. Okay, forget about who is correct, who is wrong. Why it is wrong? Tell me why it is wrong. So now please observe this carefully. Very important concept. Wherever we cannot use loop and read, there we are going with parallel cursor. Example, take this case. Employee table, education table. Employee table, education table. /o FC11 C16. So to make you understand easily, I am taking records with a table with few records. Employee table. Education table. Education table. Now, for this table, if you apply parallel cursor, loop at P underscore EMP into work area EMP. Then loop at P underscore EDU into work area EDU from V underscore index. So assuming I already declared the index. V underscore index equal to site average. Exit. Sorry, here I forgot to put a condition. If work area EMP EID not equal to work area EDU EID. V underscore index equal to site average. Exit. And right. Work area EMP EID. Work area EMP. So all the employee records. Write all the education records. So if you put the syntax like this, you throw error, write field by field. And loop. So this is one and loop. This is one and loop. So this is what we have explained. Now last class example is for parallel cursor. So I explained you like this. Now if you see for employee 1, there is record number 1. So this loop will run 3 times. You will get these 3 records in the output. So you are getting these records in the output. Now while coming out, it will come out at this position. So at the 4th position, the program will mismatch. Record number 1 is not matching with record number 3. So employee ID 1 is not matching with employee number 3. So it will come out of it. So in the index, it is storing 4 in it. So now when record number 2 comes into the work area, so record number 2, that is employee 2, comes into work area. Start from 4. So but if you see at 4, record number 3 is there with mismatches. So again the program will come out. So this write statement won't get executed. Because if this write statement don't executed, you won't get this record number 2 in the output. So automatically only the records which have education will come in the output. The records which don't have education won't come in the output. So automatically some records are missing. Now for the same thing, forget about parallel cursor. What I asked him, forget about parallel cursor, try to write loop inside a loop. So how will you write loop inside a loop? So here loop at t underscore emp into work area emp. Loop at t underscore edu into work area edu, where eid equal to work area emp eid, followed by write statements and loop. If you write it like this, we have already discussed loop inside a loop. If you write like this, loop inside a loop, only the records which have employee records and education records will come in the output. This is the inner join case. We can do it like this. If it's inner join case, I can use loop and read combinations also. But if a left outer join case comes, then we have to handle here if size sub RC not equal to 0, write the data, write employee records. So this is what we covered. Yes sir, we covered this. I remember this, we covered this. Now where is this condition? Where is this part here? If you see in the example 1, /OSC38 42 display. Now in this example, if you see, what is this? So this is parallel cursor, and every master record don't have transaction, so that record won't come into this part. So ultimately those will be handled here if I execute this. So if you see here, I am getting record number 1, record number 2, record number 3, record number 4. So why you are saying it won't come? So in a parallel cursor or loop inside a loop, whether it's a parallel cursor or loop inside a loop, you have to handle the case when master and transaction is there, what to do. When only master is there, what to do. Here also we have to handle. So we have discussed that. You forgot. Here we have one more if condition to handle the records which don't have transaction. So now I ask, okay, forget about my code which is wrong. Tell me the correct what you feel, what your roommate told. So this is what he told. So actual parallel cursor is like this. Loop at t underscore emp into work area emp, read table. T underscore edu into work area edu with key EID equal to work area EMP EID. If size of RC equal to 0, what to do? Else, what to do? And if, and do. So now here we are saying V underscore index equal to site abex. V underscore index equal to site abex. And then loop at T underscore edu into work area edu with key where from V underscore index if work area EMP EID not equal to work area edu EID exit. And write employee records here, education records here. If the employee don't have education, the read statement will fail. So that will come to else part, write employee records. So because you are not using read statement, it is wrong. So in a parallel cursor, read statement should be there. Remember one thing, a problem will have multiple solutions. One problem will have multiple solutions. Example, if you have a fever, if you go to doctor one, he will suggest one medicine, say paracetamol. If you go to one more doctor, he will suggest Dolo. If you go to one more doctor, he will suggest some other medicine. Now, all are for fever only. You can't compare. This guy gave paracetamol, this guy gave something else. So one person will write the logic in one way. Parallel cursors is not a syntax. It's a logic to speed up the loop. This is one more way of handling the syntax. Because I am correct, you are not wrong, or because you are correct, I am not wrong. Both might be correct also. So without testing, don't come to the conclusion that this is wrong. So now I have explained a different way. So now let's compare both the programs. So now this is first way. This is his way. Now I will put my way here. This is my way. This is my way. So I handled that here. V underscore check concept here. I have handled here. Now let's see his logic. So loop at the first record. So ultimately, the first record will come into the work area. The first record is coming into this work area. Now you are reading where is record number 1 in this table. In education table, where is record number 1? So automatically what the system will do? It will start from the starting. Is it record number 1? Yes, record number 1. Size of RC success. So whatever the position of it, whatever is the position, that will come into the site average. So ultimately what is site average here? V underscore index equal to 1. So now you are looping at 1. So first record will come into the output. Second record will come into the output. Third record will come into the output. When the fourth record comes, it mismatches. Fourth record mismatches. Because employee 1 is not equal to employee 3. Mismatch. So it is not storing the position. If you remember, it is not storing the position. It is coming exit. It will come out. Now record number 2 comes. Record number 2 comes into the work area. So record number 2. Now for record number 2, the read statement. Read record number 2. It will start from this position. Is it to? No. 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 A reach statement is a sequential search. By default, reach statement is a sequential search. So now you are searching it in a sequence for record number 2. So in the transaction table, there will be lakhs of records. Example, we have taken few records here, but in real time, there will be lakhs of records. It is searching for record number 2 in 1 lakh records. So indirectly, it's like a loop. So for record number 2, indirectly, this read statement is working like a loop. So we are saying use minimum number of loops. You are using 3 loops. No, sir, I'm not using 3 loops. This is read statement, sir. Read statement, what it is doing? Where is record number 2? 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 It is scanning the complete table for record number 2. Indirect is like a loop only. It won't find. Because it is not finding, I am going to the else path. Because the record didn't found, I am going to the else path. So it is writing the output. So employee 2 will come in the output. Now record number 3. Again you are searching where is record number 3, where is record number 3. Again you are searching from the starting. Is it 3, is it 3, is it 3, is it 3? So you are searching for the record again. So indirectly it will search where is 3, where is 3, where is 3. When you come to 4, where is 4, where is 4, where is 4. When you come to 5, when you come to 5th record, where is 5, where is 5, where is 5, where is 5, like this it is searching the entire table. So indirectly if you see, syntax wise here 2 loops are there, syntax wise, but logically it is like a 3 loops. So read is also indirectly like a loop only. So what is happening here? You are writing indirectly 3 loops. Just to track the position, just to track where it is, you are writing a read statement. Instead of tracking it with a read statement, I am tracking with a position here. I just added one more extra field here, saying that when you are coming out, note down the position. When you are coming out, note down the position. So here virtually only 2 loops are there. And moreover, the second loop is not running fully every time. It is not running fully. It is starting from a fixed point. Say record number 3 or record number 4, you are telling in index whatever is there, from there it is starting. And wherever it is mismatching, it is exiting. So output wise, this is also correct, this is also correct. Output wise, both are correct. But speed wise, if you compare these 2 programs, this is much better than this. So I try to explain you a much better than this. So one of your senior went for the interview. The interviewer has told, when he explained the parallel cursors like this logic he has explained. The interviewer said, no, it's wrong. You are nowhere using read statement, so it is wrong. So he mucked up the syntax. Parallel cursor means read statement. Not only one person, many people have the idea. But programming is not syntax. Understand the logic. So what your senior did is, he challenged it. Okay, I will write my program and see if it is wrong, then you need not give me the offer. So he gave the system, he showed what it is, how it is working. Then he is thinking, here there is no read statement, how it works. So parallel cursor is a logic. Understand the difference between a syntax and a logic. Now, please observe this basic concept, Loop it, say do 20 times, and do. If variable 1 greater than 5, write high. Else if variable 1 greater than 10, write hello. Else if variable 1 greater than 15, write welcome. And if add 1 to variable 1, data variable 1. So what my syntax says is, whenever the value of variable 1 goes to 5, goes beyond 5, write high. Whenever variable 1 goes beyond 10, write hello. Whenever variable 1 goes to B15, write welcome. So what is my intention is after 5, it should do something. Example, if greater than 1000 rupees, calculate 10% discount. If greater than, say, let's assume, if greater than 1000, greater than 1000 rupees worth, calculate 10% discount. Here I am writing algorithm. So if it's greater than 2000, calculate 20% discount. Calculate 20% discount. If it is greater than 3000, from now onwards, for everything it should be 30%. Calculate 30% discount. So as per syntaxes, this program is correct. So variable 1, I assume this as a total. So if total greater than 1000, do something. If total greater than 2000, do something. If total greater than 3000, do something. Logically, this is what it is. But it will always calculate this one only. It will always calculate 10%. Because program don't execute by syntax. Program will execute by logic. Once the total becomes 1000, 1001, 1002, 1003, 2001, 2002, 2003, 3001, 3002, everything is greater than 1000 only. So whichever condition satisfies first, that will get executed. So your machine will understand the logic and execute by logic, not by syntax. So don't mug up syntaxes. So which one is correct? Both is correct. Parallel cursor. This is also parallel cursor only. This is also parallel cursor only. Both are parallel cursors only. But here to track the position is using one more read statement. Sir, if I add binary search, the problem will be solved. Say binary search. Now, okay, binary search, the problem will be solved. For record number 2, it has to divide. But out of 1 lakh records, 1 lakh records to find the position, it has to divide and find the position. So it will take some time. So at least 2 seconds or 3 seconds, every loop, 2 seconds or 3 seconds it will take. Here, we are saving that 2 to 3 seconds. Suppose the program is running for 1 lakh times. We are saving 1 lakh seconds. So, sir, read statement is fast, sir. Why it will take 1 second only? Okay, 1 second it will take. In a loop of 1 lakh times, if you save 1 second, how many seconds? 1 lakh seconds you are saving. So, how much time you can save? That is important. That is what performance is. So, an ideal program should balance the speed as well as the memory. Speed as well as memory. If a program balances these two, then only it is called as performance. Example, if you take Pulsar 250, the pickup is very high. But if you put 1 liter of petrol, automatically within 10 kilometers, the petrol will be out. Now, if you take Pulsar 100, the petrol will come for 80 kilometers, but the speed, the pickup is slow. Balancing these two. Pulsar 150, economy wise it is better, speed wise it is better. That's what a program should balance. Your program is taking the complete memory in real time, in memory, integrated environment. Multiple programs will run parallelly. In your mobile, multiple programs are running parallelly at the same time. You are opening one Amazon Music and playing Amazon Music. You are chatting with WhatsApp. At the same time, your mail messenger will always check what mails are coming into me. So multiple programs will run into the memory. So every program requires some space. But what your program is doing, it is occupying the complete space. And now you are claiming my program is fast. Yes, your program is fast, but it is not giving enough space to other programs. So ultimately your program is a failure. Your program is taking less memory. but the speed is slow. Again, it's a problem. No one will use your program. That means, suppose if you design an app like IRCTC, by the time you give find trains, your wheel is rotating, and after 5 minutes, it gives you the result. By that time, the Tatkal tickets will be over. So who will use your app? No one will use. So writing a program, every Tom, Dick and Harry can write a program. Every Tom, Dick and Harry can write a program. A person who don't know programming also, if he has common sense, he can search Google and write a code. But how fast it is working? We want the best program. So there are many positions still open because they are not getting the right candidates. Recently, when we had an interview for 4 positions, 200 people came. For 4 positions, 200 people came. But we have not selected at least one also, because we found all the people. Out of those 200 people, there are more than 50 people who are certified. Certified people know all the theory concepts. If you tell a question, they can tell the answer. But if I give a program and say write the logic for this, they don't know how to write the logic because the books don't have the logic. They have to build up. And nowadays, if you see, I see lot of posting in the Facebook. Complete dump, exact dump. If you write the certification like that, what's the use? What's the use of completing a certification when you can't write a small program on your own? Programming is something to build on your own. Theoretically, we cannot do anything. So the more you practice, the more you will be perfect. Practice makes everyone perfect. Practice makes everyone perfect. We are humans. The only thing which cannot be perfect is donkey. How much you train donkeys cannot perform anything. If a donkey stand in the middle of the road, no one can push it. If you try to push it, it will hit back to you. So we cannot train donkeys. We can train humans. Okay, you might be slow. So last class also we have seen parallel cursor. This class also we have seen parallel cursor. So last class, if you have doubt, that will be rectified this time. So we are revising it again and again and teaching you. Still, if you can't get it, tomorrow again I will explain. But whether you are getting it or not, you have to practice. Then only you can understand whether you got it or not. One of your person in the class end, after the topic is over, almost we are closing it. I am trying to explain resume. Then he asked me, sir, when loop is there, what is the purpose of read? When loop is there, what is the purpose of read? That means all these months, what he is doing? 5 months, what he did? God knows. In the 5th month, we are saying bye-bye. Then you are telling what is the difference between loop and read. So at that time, he practiced because he want to go for an interview. He opened the books. Else, he will never open the books. So this is what we have seen. Parallel cursors. So any doubts? Last class, someone is asking some doubt. So is your doubt clarified? Any doubts? Now, try to do this assignment. Try to do this assignment.
Murli here.
Yes, Murli.
Yeah, if 2 tables are there, we can easily find out that column and we will sort that. If three tables are there, how do we need to sort, sir? For example, KNA1, VBAK, VBAP is there.
Same. Which fields you want to compare? Which fields you want to compare? That field. So now that is what we have to see. Let's take this case. Employee table, education table, experience table. Employee table, education table, experience table. Let's assume I want few fields of employee, few fields of education, few fields of experience. So employee table also can be sorted with EID. Education fields also can be sorted with EID. Experience also can be sorted with EID. So what I can say, sort T underscore EMP by EID. Sort T underscore EMP by EID. Sort T underscore experience also by EID. So loop add T underscore EMP into work area EMP. Loop add T underscore EDU into work area EDU. Index from.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, If common key field is there, then
Wait,
fine. For example,
let me
okay,
explain.
okay.
Wait, don't be in a hurry. V underscore index. If work area EMP EID not equal to work area EDU EID, V underscore index 1 equal to work area, sorry, site average, exit, end it. Say end loop. Now there is a requirement to loop at one more. So here multiple loops will come in ALE idocs topic. So in ALE idocs we have to loop at multiple tables. In reports also we'll get it. So let's assume here we have to use index 2. Again, if work area EMP EID not equal to work area experience hyphen EID, V underscore index 2 is equal to site average, exit, and if, end loop, end loop, end loop. So can we apply parallel cursor to multiple tables? Yes. In this case, yes. One more example. No. So now I want to connect KNA1, key field Kunar, VBAK, key field is VBLN, VBAP, key field is VBLN. Now this is a table. Now here, let's take one more table also. VBAP. Sale ID 1, VBLN, Posner, Matner. S1, 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 S2, 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 S3, 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 S2, 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 S3, S3, S3. Like this, there are some records. Item number 1, item number 2, item number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now to apply parallel cursor for these two fields, the table should be sorted with VBLN. To apply parallel cursor for these two fields, the table should be sorted with Kunar. So I cannot sort parallel cursor for these. If I sort these two tables with Kunar, the parallel cursor won't work for these two tables. If I apply parallel cursor for these two tables, then the parallel cursor field cannot be applied for this table. Wrong, it won't possible. So if I can use a common field across all the three, then I can apply parallel cursor. So once for one batch, I explained this like this. Apply parallel cursor for these. So here, there is no common field for all the three tables. So I cannot apply parallel cursor for these three tables together. So what he assumed, we cannot apply parallel cursor for three tables. So I am not saying here we cannot apply parallel cursor for three tables. Here if you observe, we can apply parallel cursor for three tables here. But when you see here, if I sort these two with Kunar, KUNNR, we cannot use VBAP field because VBAP we don't have Kunar. If you sort both the tables with VBLN, then I cannot apply for this. So who asked you to apply parallel cursor only? Why can't you do it like this? Loop at T underscore VBAK into work area VBAK. Loop at T underscore VBAP into work area VBAP with key mat, say VBLN equal to work area VBAK VBLN. from P underscore index. If work area VBAK VBLN not equal to work area VBAP VBLN, V underscore index equal to site abex, exit, and loop. Now you can use read statement with binary search. Read table T underscore KNA1 into work area KNA1 with key Kunar equal to work area VBAK Kunar. Binary search. So everywhere, simply using parallel cursor is not the best. Everywhere, loop and read is not always the best. Some cases we have to use combinations. So actually, tomorrow's topic is this one. So tomorrow's topic, drawbacks of parallel cursors. What is drawbacks of parallel cursors? Some cases we cannot apply parallel cursors for all the three tables if there is no common field across all the three tables. So in such case, use loop and read combinations for few tables, use parallel cursor concept for few tables. That is one more way of doing it. So simply learning parallel cursors and practicing parallel cursors, every scenario cannot be done with parallel cursors. Simply using loop and read and binary search, every scenario cannot be done with binary search. So drawbacks. So everywhere it has advantages and disadvantages. And this is what we cover in the interview. This is how we deal with interview questions. So this is what you should remember. No, sir, I want to use parallel cursor for this also, sir. Is it possible or not? For a developer, there should be nothing impossible. Why can't I take T underscore VBAK2? T underscore VBAK2. I will apply parallel cursor for these two tables one set, these two table one set, these two table one set. To link these two tables, again I have to use one more read. One more read. So whatever is there in VBAK1, the same thing will be there in VBAK2 also. But data duplication, memory wastage will be there. So that's the reason we don't explain it like this. So duplicate the table, copy the table into one more table, and for these two sort with Punar. For these two sort with VBLN, and link these two with the read statement. I can do it, but the complexity of the logic will increase. Instead of that, much simpler way is using loop and read. So in a program, you have to use loop combinations and read combinations also. So how to play with this? When multiple tables comes, when to use loop, when to use read is the developer judgment. Based on that only the speed of the program will be decided. So as I told earlier, every Tom, Dick and Harry can do. If you don't consider performances, we need not learn internal tables at all. Everything can be done with select and select, select and select, select and select. But in SAP, performance plays a major role. Because performance issues are there only, SAP came up with something called as HANA. Drawback of ECC. ECC supports only two types of joins, inner join and left outer join. And left outer join also one more drawback which says we cannot use right side table fields in the where condition. So indirectly in inner join we can use everything, but in left outer join we cannot use everything in where condition. Again it has restrictions. So to overcome these restrictions, SAP came up with HANA ABAP with 9 types of joins. So when we see HANA, we'll see that type of joins. So this is what you should understand. Murli, is your doubt clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So just practice this once again. If you have any doubts, ask me tomorrow. From tomorrow, we'll start something called as reusable concepts. Reusability. So till now, we have learned all the statements, etc. Next, we'll see reusability. So almost the toughest topics are over in SAP. From now onwards, everything is easy if you have understood the previous concepts. Okay, just practice this.